It's me, Mario. Hello.
Whether you're joining me for the first time or a returning viewer of mine, it might surprise you to find out I'm a big Nintendo fan. I mean, just taking a quick scroll through my channel, I've never really talked about Nintendo. And that's only due to the fact that I'm big on trophy hunting. So this might be the first and last time you ever hear me talk about them. However, let the record show on March 3rd, 2017, I went to go see Logan, and I also picked up the Nintendo Switch and a copy of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. To say I was blown away by the console would be an understatement. The fact that a tablet of this size was able to run such a physics-based open world was incredible. And sure, the game's frame rate barely hit its 30 FPS target, but I could look past it because of the fact that the game was portable and it was fun. In fact, I was able to keep this mindset for most of the Switch's library up until 2023. Because when Breath of the Wild's sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, came out, I was blown away by how awful it ran. Don't get me wrong, the game was fun. In fact, I still played it to completion, but the frame rate here was even worse than it was in Breath of the Wild. It was so bad, in fact, I vowed to give up on Nintendo until they released a new console. Which is exactly what they're doing today, June 5th, 2025. So without any more delay, I present to you all the first ever Taste of Review. Now, before we can even start talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, I had to tell you all about what I ate for lunch today. You see, I decided to stop at Taco Bell and get the Discovery Lux box, which ended up being extremely good and filling. And I mean, the deal is amazing. 1,300 calories, all for $9? Who could turn it down? Certainly not me. And before anyone asks, no, this is not sponsored. I just really wanted you all to know about this deal. Enough about that though. Around 11 p.m. I made my way to GameStop, which is surprisingly still in business, but I picked up my pre-order and went home. And I was surprised by how small this packaging is. I mean, they really crammed this thing in there. But my first impressions here are very strong, and all for the positive. I mean, this thing is built sturdy. And I love how the Joy-Cons are magnetic and actually click into the system. Because with the original Switch, it was a rail system, which always felt really flimsy to me. And as you can see here, I can really flex the Joy-Cons in the system itself. But that's not the case at all here with the Switch 2. No matter how hard I try, there's no flex in it. Speaking of Joy-Cons, the Joy-Cons are so much bigger here and feel so much better. I cannot stress enough the word better here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have big hands. And maybe if you have small hands, you'll disagree here. But it just feels so much better to hold sideways for when you're going to be playing multiplayer games. With the Switch 1 Joy-Cons, it felt like it was a novelty to play this way. With the new ones, it feels like it's a viable way to play a game. They also have this cool new feature where they can double as a mouse, which feels 10 times better than I expected. But to really test this feature out, I'm going to try out Nintendo Welcome Tour, which please don't bully me in the comments for buying it. I know it's $10 and it should have been free, but I bought it for you guys to really review the system. Okay, so we're this little UFO and I'm trying to get all these stars. This shouldn't be too bad. As you may know, if you've watched my previous videos, I'm pretty good at games, you know. I'm a platinum hunter. Let's try that one more time. Okay, we're collecting the stars. Okay. Oh, my game's downloaded. That's cool. That was pretty fast. A lot fast. Damn! Now listen, I know you all come flooding the comments saying, Taste of Out, there's something wrong with that sensor. That if I'm losing, then it's obviously the system's fault. But I hate to break it to you guys. This time, it's on me. You see, this thing is crazy responsive. This Joy-Con is awesome. And I really can't wait to see how more games incorporate this feature in the future. Another feature that I'm loving is the new HD Rumble. Listen. I know you're not going to believe me, but it really does feel like there's beads in here. That 3D rumble is sick. I mean, trust me, I know this isn't going to look good on camera, but it really does feel good. It's safe to say I love these controllers. They feel so good and have so many features that I don't really know how they can improve on them. But enough about the controllers, let's talk about games. And we have to start with Mario Kart World. This game is amazing. I mean, we're talking about a game that outputs at 4K and hits a solid 60 FPS at all times in a fully open world. That's right, every track is connected. And when you free roam, there's challenges everywhere. It's loads of fun and it plays great. I spent almost the entire day playing this game with my girlfriend, who I will be referring to as Taste of Cow. I feel like this should go without saying, but I won every single type of race we played. Whether it was the standard Grand Prix or the brand new Knockout Tour, which is a brand new type of race in the series where you have to reach these checkpoints under a certain placement or you don't get to keep going. Which is as stressful as it sounds, and it's awesome. And it might even be my favorite addition to the game, but I need to play more before I say that. This game also runs fantastic in portable mode with the new 1080p 120 FPS screen, which also has great HDR. And on top of that, it has a variable refresh rate screen, which pretty much means if there's a couple frame drops in the game, you're not going to see them. Or you at least shouldn't, but with this game, it doesn't even matter because the game doesn't drop frames. It really does feel perfectly optimized. But enough about Mario Kart, let's talk about old games and how they look and run on the Switch too. But before we can do that, I need to load up my virtual game cards. Yeah, you heard me right, I said virtual game cards. And if you're scratching your head, don't worry, I was too. You see, Nintendo decided that it was a good idea to make it so your digital library was treated like actual game cards. But virtual? Basically what that means is you have to load up every single digital game you've ever bought, one by one, which is as painful as a process as it sounds, and maybe there's a way to avoid this. And if there's a faster way, please tell me in the comments. Please let everyone know what it is, because I seriously can't figure it out. And as it stands, I feel like this is a terrible addition to the console. The only cool part about this is you can lend these virtual game cards to your friends, but it's only for 14 days before you have to resend it, and they have to be part of your family. Well, Nintendo family, but it's stupid. I don't like it. All it does is make game sharing harder. But after dealing with that headache, the first game I want to try is Mario Odyssey, which despite the game not having trophies, I actually 100%ed this game back on the Switch 1, and I loaded it up to see how it looked. And if my memory's right, the game had a couple frame drops here and there. Also, as you can see, the resolution's a little low. But for a Switch game, it looks really good. At least it did until I loaded it up on the Switch 2. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how this is going to show up on video, or if I'm actually showing good gameplay for a great comparison, or even a decent one for that matter, but the point is, this game looks incredible in person. It just looks so much crisper. The resolution bump makes a world of difference. And granted, this isn't even a paid upgrade, this is just a free update. One that this game didn't even technically need, it would have still looked good. Now, one game that really needed an upgrade was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It actually physically pains me to show you guys this gameplay. The fact that this game was able to pass and get released is insane to me. I mean, just look at it, it's a buggy, ugly mess. It really does feel unplayable at times, which is a true shame because I'm sure it would have been a fun game if it ran. And that's why I'm so happy to report that it finally does. On the Nintendo Switch 2, you can actually see more than 5 Pokemon on screen at a time, all while being much higher resolution and hitting a consistent 60 FPS. Now, I'll be honest, I'm more impressed by this than I should be, because the game still doesn't look jaw-dropping. However, it does look 10 times better. Like, just look at those Pokemon, there's so many of them. And this is all a free upgrade. Obviously, the game should have ran like this on the Switch 1, but I'll take it. But now it's time for me to try out the upgrade that I've been waiting for years. Of course, I'm referring to Tears of the Kingdom, which has actually gotten a paid upgrade. However, if you have the Nintendo Switch Online membership, you get it for free. Kinda, technically, it depends on how you look at it. Subscriptions, it's just included with it. But if you don't have Nintendo Online, it's $10. But just look at this footage, it's worth every penny. I mean, this right here lets me justify buying this console. I mean, here I am playing Tears of the Kingdom at 60 FPS and 4K on official Nintendo hardware. I never thought I'd see this day. The day when Nintendo got with the times. I mean, granted, they're still a couple years late, but this console's awesome. I'm loving every second I've played with it. They've fixed every single issue I had with the original Switch, with the software and hardware just being way beefier. I could talk about this thing all day, but I'd rather play it. And this is just a taste of review, which means exactly what it sounds. Or at least I hope so. You see, I mean it in a way of this is a taste of what a full review would be from me. Seeing as I've only had one day to play it, I don't know what my final thoughts will be in months or years to come. I also just felt like the name was funny. It's like a little branding exercise for my name, Taste of Owl. Well, that's really all I have left to say for this video. Please note I have a much longer video coming very shortly, and I will be working on a much more consistent upload schedule. So if you enjoyed the video at all, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it would make me feel a little bit better about myself. Let's shoot for 2,000 subscribers. I know we can do it, but I'll understand either way. I just hope to see you again someday. And for now, have a great one.